If you have ever said to yourself that you just want to make sure that you're doing the right thing or you have the right plan before you get started, this episode is for you. And I say this as a fellow recovering perfectionist that it is a pattern that we get ourselves into where we need to research and tweak stuff and find the information and figure out how we're going to track it. And we have this whole setup to do. And we wait until we have this perfect plan to actually start doing anything. And that is the problem because it feels productive. It's sneaky in that way. It feels like I just put in all this time and effort into figuring all this stuff out, but we haven't actually taken a single action toward the end result yet. So, optimization and getting it right and wanting to get it all figured out, it feels like, oh, I'm being a responsible adult. I am having this plan of action going into it, but the plan of action never actually gets put into action. So, for example, you could spend an hour looking up a meal plan and you go down several rabbit holes and why this and not this, and you get all the people's opinions and reasons and all of that. And you feel so productive at the end of it, like, man, I feel like I learned a lot today. Except at the end of that hour, you are no closer to having a meal plan or a way of eating. Like nothing changed except for some of the information in your head. But there's no action that's been taken. And so that's the real issue going on here with some optimization and our perfectionist leanings. We're not stuck because we don't have the perfect plan. We're scared to commit to something that is imperfect. Well, I hate to be the one to break this to you, but all plans are going to be imperfect because we're humans. We're going to mess something up. Life is going to happen, and that's okay. But when we get into that spiral of I need to research and tweak and wait and then never really get into action, that is what's keeping us stuck. And that's what's being so frustrating of not getting the results that we want because it feels like we're showing up. It feels like we're being responsible. It tricks our brain almost into thinking that we're doing stuff. And it's very socially acceptable. You can post about your new trackers or your new apps or this or that. You can post about it, you can share about it, and it really feels like you're gaining traction except you still haven't done anything on the plan. So it's a way that we convince ourselves we're doing stuff that we're not actually doing. And we end up quitting before we even really get started with a plan because we've spent so much time thinking and evaluating and all this that by the time it actually comes to act, it's like, man, I'm kind of over this plan already. And so, and I'm speaking from experience here, I promise you. But optimization is not the same as taking action, it is procrastination in disguise. And yes, I am one of the world's best procrastinators, I think. So, this is all from experience. But you don't change your lifestyle by designing it and planning it all out and projecting into the future and all this. You change your lifestyle by living it, by doing the things you want to change in your life. And then you repeat those changed things over and over and over until they just become your new way of being. And I'll tell you what, that new way of being, if you're doing the basics, it's pretty boring. And while we think optimization and we want all this shiny gadgetry and cool stuff and gizmos and we want to be able to share about it, I get the appeal, I promise. However, boring works. Boring gets the results that we are ultimately after. Those expensive, complex plans and technologies and things like that, those feel safe because if something doesn't work, we can blame it. We can just say, well, the technology must not have worked, the plan must not have been a good one. But the basics, force us to take responsibility for showing up day in and day out because there's nothing fancy about it. Either you show up and you do the work or you don't. There's no escaping that. So the goal is not to find the best plan, it's just to find the one that you will do in your real everyday life on a Tuesday when you're exhausted, on a Friday when a kid gets sick. What plan will you actually do? And then once you find a plan that you'll actually do, you have to actually do it long enough to give it a chance to work because 1 week is not long enough. And so before long, I know you're going to be looking for a new app or a tracker or a plan. Don't do that because it's not going to help you move the needle. Ask yourself, is this actually helping me get moving or is it helping me avoid getting moving? That's a perfect vibe check for if this is where you should be spending your time because you don't have to be sure something is the best way. You don't have to start over. You don't have to redesign everything. You just have to do it. So if that's you where you're feeling the urge to research more or optimize more or anything like that, that is the moment where my No More Excuses guide comes in handy and saves the day. It will get you going. So grab it using the link in the show notes. It is when your brain wants to totally revamp everything. Find your excuse, press play, and I will walk you through how to say no to that excuse in your brain, shut it down, and then do the thing you know you should be doing. So optimization sometimes feels like progress, but consistency is actually what gets you results. That's today's daily bit of fit. Take it and run or walk or stretch. Just go move. That's it for today's daily bit of fit. I'm Coach Mack from Running with Bacon, reminding you that small steps really do add up. Make sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss a bit. And if today's episode hit home, send it to a friend who might need it too. And if you ever want a quick pep talk tailored just for you, DM me on Instagram because I'm always happy to send some encouragement your way. You can find more support and my health coaching resources at runningwithbacon.com or come hang with me on Instagram for some healthy fun. Until next time, keep taking those small steps because you don't need a perfect plan, just a consistent one.